bracing for an interest rate hike.
Jobs are back, but prices are still too high.
Tips this morning on how you can safeguard your money. Cuba handing down hundreds of jail sentences to citizens who spoke out last summer. And engineers have a solution.
A mission as opposed to just a job.
To save babies and pets. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Michelle Morris.
I'm Anya Joseph. Today is Wednesday, June 15, 2022.
Live from the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
A huge hike coming in as interest rates rack up. It's seen as the best medicine against inflation.
But as CNN Isabel Rosales reports, this remedy has some major side effects.
Investors are on edge as the Federal Reserve is headed for rough waters. The central bank is debating raising the interest rate by 0.75 of a percentage point, unseen since 1994. The goal is to cool down the economy and tame inflation, President Joe Biden's top economic priority.
Jobs are back, but prices are still too high. COVID is down, but gas prices are up. Our work isn't done.
Without many options to fight price hikes or gas prices, Biden instead touting ultra-low unemployment numbers and some economic recovery from the pandemic.
I've never been more optimistic about America than I am today.
Plus, a key inflation reading showing a small glimmer of hope Tuesday, revealing a slight slowdown in rising prices.
Inflation has been a real problem in the country, and it is proving to be stickier and more stubborn than officials had hoped.
So what can you do to protect your money? Financial experts say continue to invest in your 401ks and retirement accounts.
Don't panic. And the reason I say that is, how many times have we seen the market go down?
The next steps depends on your financial situation and how much time you have left before retirement.
If you're somebody out there living paycheck to paycheck, or you don't have an emergency fund, or you're not funding a retirement account, you should stop going out to eat, going on vacation, and doing all those things.
Bottom line, cut down on the non-essentials. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Human rights in question this morning as the demand for lowering gas prices increases. President Biden is planning to visit Saudi Arabia next month, one of the world's biggest oil producers. But the question of human rights is on the horizon. Saudi Arabia has been said to have the world's the world's largest humanitarian crisis. The administration says oil is not the only reason for the visit. It also includes a regional summit.
This morning, nearly 400 people are sanctioned in Cuba for the last summer's protests. On Monday, Cuba's Attorney General's office announced sanctioning for 381 people in relation to their participation in the anti-government protests of July 11, 2021. Nearly 300 of them have already been sentenced to between 5 and 25 years.
After 4 days of consistent rain at the Yellowstone National Park, all entrances have been closed off this morning due to flooding. Across 3 states, the Yellowstone River has increased to historic levels. Luckily, more than 10,000 visitors have safely fled the park. Thousands of residents near the area, however, are without electricity.
This morning, a young Florida boy is learning how to walk again after being bit by a venomous snake. 7-year-old Elijah Bustamante was playing in his backyard near Jacksonville on June 3rd. That's when what appears to be a water moccasin suddenly bit him in the leg. He was rushed to the hospital for immediate treatment. Elijah continues going through physical therapy and hopes to build up his strength again.
A sense of relief this morning after the Marlins put up a stop to the 2-game losing skid. The Fish were looking for revenge yesterday in Philadelphia after losing game 1 of a 3-game series on Monday. It was a high-scoring affair, with the Marlins coming out on top 11-9. The same 2 teams play this afternoon just after 1 o'clock.
A change is coming for Miami-Dade residents who end up needing a COVID test.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
The point of this technology is to prevent hot car deaths.
In fear of accidentally leaving a child or a pet in a hot car. A group of smart men and women say they have engineered a solution. Newsbreak will be back in just 2 minutes.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Yeah.
Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
I help our fellows design their paths as creative entrepreneurs. My experiences serving startups, creative businesses, and cultural organizations, and my journey as a queer mixed immigrant with Haitian and Arabic roots, inform the co-creative environment we foster at Radcliffe. We leverage our collective diversity to encourage the building of lifelong personal learning networks and mindsets that stimulate continuous innovation.
Some brilliant engineers applying themselves to the problem of hot car deaths. More than 36 children die every year from heat stroke after being left in a hot car.
This morning, we're showing you a new technology with the power to warn you before it happens. Take a look. With 2.5 years of hard work and about a dozen engineers.
Definitely more than 8 hours a day. It's become a mission as opposed to just a job.
Finally, Toyota, connected in Plano, shares their preventative plans for the future.
So the point of this technology is to prevent hot car deaths.
It's called Cabin Awareness, a new technology meant to save lives and prevent heat stroke deaths inside the car, whether it's a baby or animal left in the back seat or one who manages to get inside on their own. An iPad shows the layout of the car. At first, there's no one inside. It's completely empty. Team members then place a fake baby inside. The display recognizes that a child is inside, all due to advanced radars that can detect the child. The new tech is not calculated by weight or cameras. Instead, they sense micro movements, like heartbeats or breathing.
So we are able to distinguish between a grocery bag and the human, whereas a weight sensor can't do that.
And you may be wondering, how are you notified? The car will start to honk or flash its lights. Following those warnings could come a text message or phone call, if programmed.
A lone occupant has been detected in your green Toyota Sienna for 2 minutes.
The feature isn't ready just yet, but it's still in the trial phase. But these engineers say they hope to see it in all cars soon.
Obviously, we're developing this for Toyota and Lexus. This is something that we see potentially as what we are calling like our Volvo moment, where they invented the 3-point safety harness, the seatbelt that we all have today in every single vehicle. This is something that came out of the hackathon as part of a social good and innovation movement that we would like to see adopted everywhere.
Something to keep in mind, the CDC says leaving a window open does not make a hot car safe for any living thing. Even with open windows, temperatures inside the car can rise almost 20 degrees within the first 10 minutes.
Changes are planned this morning for a change in the way Miami-Dade provides COVID tests. Starting July 2nd, the county will no longer be picking up the tab for the test. If you are insured, your insurance company will be billed. If you are uninsured, you will have to pay for the test. The county is exploring options for those who can't afford the test. Vaccinations will still remain free.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Anya Joseph.
I'm Michelle Morris. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.